Hey, what's up, man? This is your boy KLA the Wanderer, about to give it to you once again. Yeah, it's been a while since I had like a woman bodybuilder guest, but this guest, she's a returning I would say champion. You know, her name is Megan Johnson McCullough. If I'm
McCullough.
McCullough, I'm
McCullough.
sorry, I
It's
always mess
okay.
up your
Everyone
name.
always chops it.
Yeah, I have a complicated name. It's an African name. It's called Nuba. And some people can pronounce it well, and some people don't want to pronounce it.
Hmm.
So yeah, so it's all good. But I'll remember your name, McCullough, right?
McCullough.
McCullough. Okay, McCullough. Like almost like sounds like color, like rhymes like color. McCullough.
There you go.
So I
They
how
mess it up when I walk across on the stage too, so don't worry about it.
yeah.
Hmm.
Do you get annoyed by that? Do you like when people like mess up your name, you just get used to it?
Well, my maiden name is Megan Johnson, and my married last
Yeah,
name is
right.
McCullough. So I grew up with a very basic, easy name. So it's kind of different with
Right.
people not being able to pronounce it, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, I've been a
What's your
teacher. I've been a teacher and a coach. I mean, you can't help but mess people's names up. Nothing personal.
yeah? Where's your husband from, if you don't mind me asking?
We're both from Oceanside, so we went to high school together.
Oh, okay. All
Yeah,
right.
born and
That's
raised.
cool. That's cool. All right.
Hmm.
Yes. So how's the year been treating you? I mean, since we're gonna assume be entering 2024.
This year was it had a lot of big life changes for me. Actually, I did two competitions this year. I usually do more, but some major life changes happened, and I'll talk about those. Let's see. In May, I went to France, a city called La Forêt, and I did a competition there. It's like an hour from Paris. And
Okay.
my husband and I went, and I did really well there. I got first in the three categories that I competed in. So it was kind of really awesome representing, the United States and going there and getting to hold up the flag. And so that was really awesome, the Team USA experience. And then later in the year, I went to it's called Park Forest. It's near Chicago. I'd never been there before, but it was a really nice area, and I did a competition there, and I won my categories there. So it was a good year of winning, and that. So the two organizations that I compete in mostly are ICN, and then it's called Natty Revolution. So I like both of those, and I'll do their shows in 2024 as well. Then almost the entire year was a lot of business related changes. I bought another business. So I have my fitness studio in Oceanside called Everybody's Fit. And then I'm becoming the owner of an outpatient substance abuse treatment center. So I've been doing a lot of that. And then in October, I moved my fitness studio right next to the treatment center. And then in December I kind of started taking over everything and, working on becoming the owner of both places. So it's been a lot.
Yeah, it sounds a lot. So what like for bodybuilding, like I know you do like natural bodybuilding
Hmm.
division. Like is there like a category like figure or I don't know like the
Yeah, they
natural.
have. Okay, so they have like figure and bikini and, the more well-known ones. The ones that I do are athletic
Yeah,
and sports model. There's one called Angels, and then there's the one-piece swimsuit. So for my body type, I do have like the more kind of athletic, sporty look, kind of the lean and mean uh,
yeah,
representation. Whereas in something like figure, right, they're looking for more fullness, that shape and symmetry, where I present it in the same way, but more of a lean look, kind of like a harder look with
right.
less mass, but just lean and tight. And, you know, they look for a lot of the similar categories, such as, you know, having the upper and lower body match each other or not, you know, and also your posing. You still get to do T-walks and comparisons. So it's all the same. It's just they're kind of different categories, fun, and I enjoy them. So I like to go to a show that has multiple things that I can do, right? If I'm gonna go all the way to France, I want to do more than one category. There's not a whole lot of natural shows specifically in Southern California, so I typically do
Right.
have to travel, so I want to make it worth it.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. You ever thought about taking a stab at NPC or nah? It's not happening.
I would have to either, so when I first started bodybuilding, I did do figure, and I had a lot more size to me. Uh,
Right.
Keeping muscle and size on is very difficult for me. A lot of that has to do with my job as a trainer. I'm on my feet from 6:30 a.m. till 6:30 or 7:30 p.m. every day. I mean, I'm burning, burning, burning.
Right.
And when COVID hit and my business closed for that time period, and I wasn't lifting anymore, I was just running. I basically ran off all of my muscle. And I'm not kidding. I
Yeah.
lost like close to 25 pounds. And that was pretty much all muscle. So I kind of had to change my perspective on competing. I play to win, right? And so if I were to go out and do figure again, I probably would not do very well, and I'd have to take a big break from doing shows in order to put that mass back on.
Right.
And for me, in these categories that I do now, it almost fits my body better. And so I can train towards it and I enjoy it more. I don't feel as, I don't feel like I'm doing something that maybe my body wasn't meant to do. Like with figure,
Yeah.
my body's not meant to have that mass on it, but I could try as much as I want, you know, but
Right.
naturally, I'm not going to achieve that look. It's just not the way that, you know, my metabolism and my hormones are wired. Your body shape is your body shape.
Yeah, I get it because it seemed like it, like the FPC and IFBB Pro, that's a different level, and there's a bodybuilder. Well, she's not a bodybuilder; she does something different. But someone was telling me about their experience in bodybuilding, and they just didn't want to do it no more because it was a lot on the mind and stuff like that. They 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 did other things, so So I get it. I get it. I get
Right.
it.
I mean, it's mentally and physically demanding, and you know, NPC and IFBB, those are great organizations, but for me to achieve that look and be on stage next to competitors of that stature, I would have to, you know, take something to help improve my performance and my look, and um, that's not the approach that I like to take, especially like in my philosophy of, you know, owning a substance abuse treatment center. Like it's all about clean, healthy
Yeah.
lifestyle choices. So that's the road and avenue that I choose. Whether you do it
Right.
naturally or not, you still got to put in the time. You still got to diet. So no disrespect to those who do that. That's just not the type of show that I choose.
Yeah. So you enjoyed France.
Hmm.
Did you love your stay in France, like in terms of sightseeing and all that stuff?
Oh yeah. Afterwards, we pretty much dominated Paris. We did like every tour that you could possibly do. I packed
Yeah.
every day with, so I had a travel agent help me. I get really nervous. I've been overseas several times with bodybuilding. I've been to Italy, South Korea twice, Australia twice, and I just get nervous about like buying the tickets and just doing something wrong. And so I actually went to high school with a travel agent. So she helps me out. And nowadays they have it so top notch and easy that like they give you a cell phone app and you literally just pull up the day and then it's like you're supposed to be here at this time, here at this time, here. And that's how
Right.
he did it. And so we got to make the most of that trip, and it was really, really awesome. And I met some really great people there and that we're still in touch with.
Yeah. Well, you got some people here. Anthony Watkins, he said hi, and Fiora, good. You know. Yeah. I always admire your pictures. I mean, especially a lot of times you post on Instagram. You can check it out.
Yeah, those are
Yeah.
some pictures. That's from a couple years ago. That's the athletic category.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So
You still now go ahead. I'm sorry.
you wear the shorts and the sports bra, and they do, they do run through the series of poses like, side chest, triceps, back, etc. So I really like that category. And then you get to put together, like a 1 minute where you get to do your walk to a song that you like. So that's actually one of my favorite categories.
Yeah. You still do the basketball thing?
I do. That's in the sports model category. And
Yeah.
that was just a photo shoot after the competition.
Yeah.
That was in Chicago, and that's another
Okay.
one.
Yeah.
So
Yes. Nice
yeah, it's
pictures.
just fun stuff. And then I
Yeah.
get,
So
some opportunities to do photo shoots with photographers who see me at the shows or locally represent some brands and things of that nature.
what about like magazines and stuff like that?
Let's see, I have been on the cover of a magazine. Let me see if I can manipulate this. Okay, if I were to go this way, let me see, I'm gonna stand right.
Yeah, I see your trophies.
Okay, if I go
Yeah, I
up,
almost see it.
there
Yeah, I
it
almost
is.
see it. Yeah.
There it is.
What's that? Games?
Yeah, it's Natural Gains
Yeah.
magazine. So I got to be on the cover of
Okay.
that before.
Yeah, look pretty nice. Maybe
Yeah,
send you can send it to me or something. Look nice.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I got to do that. That's an example of a small group that I have at my studio. I have males and females. That was actually
Yeah.
that's a picture from the first day that I had a re-grand opening when I moved my studio back in Oceanside just this year in October that I was talking about.
Yeah.
So
Right.
now I'm on a street called Pierview Way. And so I'm literally like 2 blocks from the beach, and we can do our cardio going to the beach. And there's a pier at the very end of the street. And it's the same
Right.
pier that I was actually proposed to on New Year's Eve. So this very day, but that was, wow, that would have been like 13 or 14 years ago now. And then
Right.
I also renewed my wedding vows on that pier where we did like a 10-year vow renewal. So that was neat.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, so it's kind of
What
like me. I'm right where I'm supposed to be, is what I feel like God plot me. I finally made it.
what's it like training people, with that struggle with dieting and trying to stay fit for you.
So a lot of the small groups and clients, I actually do a lot of working out with them. And that helps me, in my own fitness journey as well. I lead by example. It is tough, like having the energy and the stamina to sustain, teaching classes and being on your feet all day. But I've learned over the years how to balance, times of just demonstrating and times of being more interactive, depending on the audience that I have in front of me. So I do work with mostly the general population and older adults. So I have a strong following with seniors. So like the client
Right.
right before our discussion here, she's in her early 80s and she had a fall and has, been hesitant of getting on the ground and being able to get back
Mm.
up. And today we made some headway, and she could actually get down from the ground and stand back up. And that's a huge, I mean, your balance diminishes with age. You can get, dizzy spells, medications that you take, and previous injuries make it hard. And so maintaining your independence as you get older gets harder and harder without help. And so if you were to fall, it's so important to be able to get back up without help. So, in a setting like that, I'm not being physically, demanding of myself to help someone in that way. So I have a good mix of that in my day where there's more hours that I'm interactive and definitely go, 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 and other hours of the day where it's slowing down and just kind of guiding and assisting someone.
Yeah, like it's interesting you mentioned that because my father, he has, like, he has a bit of similar experience where he has trouble walking and stuff, to a point where he has to get like a wheelchair. And,
Hmm.
the doctor had explained that there's something like a line in his head where he has trouble balancing and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So he walks really slow. And
Hmm.
there's moments where it ain't always easy, and then sometimes he acts up, and sometimes he kind of urinates on himself a lot too, and he's
Hmm.
trying to just, because I think he sleeps a lot, and then when the bladder kind of reached to that point, he before he gets to the bathroom, he's already leaking on the floor, and then I have to clean it up and stuff like that. So that been like a really a lot for me, and I tried to get him to the gym like months ago, but it ain't easy. And then I end up
Hmm.
like owing like the gym a lot of money and stuff. That's what sucks too. So I said forget it, you know. But
Hmm.
yeah, it's a lot, for senior citizens and stuff. So
Right.
yeah, yeah, that's good though. Yeah, yeah.
That's
What
old.
compet? Oh,
That's an
yeah, I
older
could
one.
tell you.
That's the figure competition. A
Oh,
long
okay,
time ago,
okay. Is that
probably 2018
yeah,
or 2019, maybe.
yeah, okay,
It's just a photo shoot.
yeah. I went kind of crazy over your pictures a bit. I get like that at times,
That's
you
okay.
know.
So that's the one piece swimsuit category that I do.
Yeah. All right.
So again, you do the different poses and, uh, they're they are looking for shape and symmetry, but, kind of a harder look. And my coach is very experienced, so we do cater to what my competition is going to be like. So, for
Right.
example, in going to Paris or France, we looked up, just like how you look at the pictures, we looked at the pictures of what other girls look like. And so I knew that I needed to have a little bit of like a fuller look, rather than just so tight. And because that's probably what the judges would be looking for. I mean, a little bit of a guessing game, but if that's what the general consensus is across the winners that you see. So I did something different before that show than I had ever done, and in France I had to eat like a whole sandwich before I got on stage so that I would have a bigger look. And it's not like, it's not like I was upset about it. I got to
Oh,
eat the
okay.
whole sandwich, I was starving. And the bread in France is amazing and fresh and way different than anything here. So that was cool. And because of that, we saw, okay, that did well. And so we learned from that. And then when I came back to Chicago and had a competition later that year, they're like, let's do it again. And so
Yeah.
it tricks to the trait, and you learn along the way, and you get better and better over time.
Do you place better like in these competitions than the competitions before, like in FBC?
Do I what? I didn't hear the
No, do you
question.
place better? Do they place you? Do you feel like they place you better? Like you know how like the Like there's one, two, three. Like
Yeah, it's just like that.
you understand?
1, 2, 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Like what
there's
place
first.
that they play? Oh, you won it. Oh, you won a
Yeah, I won first place
Oh,
in
I'm
the three
so
categories.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just trying
I
to,
was being humble and I didn't, get into all that. I just said I won.
No, that's all. That's all. That's all. That's all. That's good. That's good. You know.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So that's
no,
another
I'm
one
sorry.
piece. And then
Yeah.
some other things that happened this year, I had a couple books come out that I had published. So you could see those behind me. I had a children's book come out about a
Yeah. What's
pug.
that about?
Well, I have two pugs, and they're the mascots at my studio, and they come to work with me every day, and clients love them. And their names are Steve Nash and Scottie Pippen. And
Okay.
so I've written a couple books with pugs as the main characters. And so the first children's book I ever wrote was called Nellie Pug Grows Muscles. And so it was about a pug that becomes a bodybuilder. And it was basically the story of my coach and I. And Nellie was my coach's mom's middle name. And so I lost my mom early on from addiction, and that's why I have the treatment center and all of that. So now you understand how it all
Right.
comes together. So I kind of like to carry on doing things in remembering my mom. So I asked him, "What's your mom's middle name?" And so then I wrote another book with my mother-in-law's name, and her name is Darcel. So that book is called Darcy Pug, and that's about Darcy Pug plays basketball. So then I have another one coming out, and it will be about a pug that says no to drugs.
Yeah.
So
Could you show it? Like I don't know. Like could you show the pictures, like the
I can
illustration or
just grab
something?
them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's that one. So it's cute.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
cute.
So it goes through. It's just like a book, any other book with
Who did the
illustrations.
illustration? Who did the
Well, so
illustration?
I have a publishing company. So I actually did not know this illustrator. They assigned
Oh, okay.
her to me. Her name is Alexis Eastburn. And I mean, they kind of have known me because I've written other books with them. So they know my style, and they did a
Put
really
it a
great
little bit
job.
higher.
They
For
did a
yeah.
really great job of matching me with the illustrator.
Yeah.
And so she did the other pug book too. And in this one, as you get better and better at things, this one I put a bunch of activities. So like a fill in the blank, there's a picture of me and
Right.
my pugs right there.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't have kids, but I have pugs. So that's pretty awesome, like coloring. So
Oh, that's cool.
yeah. So these, I actually sold a few of these as people wanted them to give them as Christmas gifts to their grandkids and everything. So that was nice.
Yeah, nice. The how the as people this if the do people been kind of like buying them or purchasing them the books or
Yeah, so I have an Amazon account with all the books that I've
yeah,
written, and
right.
actually written. There's 9 of them, and then the new one coming out will be 10. So I have cookbooks on there. This one. Um, so I have my doctorate in health and human performance, and why is it like so weird?
But
They actually made a textbook out of my research study. So
okay,
they use these in college courses. So that's pretty neat too. Um,
okay,
but the thing about that one is a lot of people want to get that one and it costs a lot. The thing that people don't understand is that when you sell books on Amazon, you don't get to determine the price, like they do all that. So, like,
yeah,
oh, that's expensive, or oh, it's only, and I'm like, and if you ever look at Amazon, one day it costs one thing and one day it costs another. So that's not up to me, but I always appreciate it when people buy one of my books. I mean, any way to support is
Oh, that's
is
cool.
always kind.
That's cool. What made you want to do like a children's book? Out of curiosity.
I think just the fact that my pugs have just become so much a part of like my brand, and that I do little pug videos every day with them, that it just kind of was like, maybe this could be something cool. And I I'm one of those people that if I put my mind to something, I'm going to do it. So I just decided that I wanted to do it because I wanted to continue writing, but I've reached a point where I'm not necessarily wanting to do any more research. I just kind of want to
Right.
enjoy it now, because I worked really hard in school for a long time, and so this was kind of like, a different direction now that I can kind of enjoy myself a little bit more with it.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I see. I made like a little video with you working out with your dogs and stuff, with your
Oh
pet,
yeah.
your pugs and stuff. Yeah,
Mhm.
check it out.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's so
yeah,
cool. Yeah,
yeah.
so those
He be
videos
enjoying
just make
himself.
people smile. Yeah, they'll do whatever I want them to do, and the point is just to make people laugh and smile. You can't help but think that's cute, as silly as
Yeah,
it is.
yeah, yeah. You ever thought about having kids, or you and your husband, or
No, I've never wanted them, and then he hasn't either. So, those are things you
no?
talk about before you get married. So we're on the same page.
No, okay. To each his own. I don't know. Like sometimes it costs money, and having kids and stuff like that. So I get it. So yeah. I got more with your basketball, and you
Hmm.
know, yeah. But now, this picture, where's this from?
So I did a competition. That's from a couple years ago. I did a competition in Orange County, and a lot of shows have this. I think like Muscle Mania, and this was the world. It was like the World Federal Alliance organization, and so you don't get to pick like figure or um, like bodybuilding or any of that. It's like you have to actually change outfits. So there was one where you did a bikini, there was one where you wore a dress, and there was one where right, I did the sports model. So they kind of look at you in different outfits, different posing, and then you kind of look at the whole package. It's like fitness modeling. So that was a
Oh,
fun one. I didn't
okay,
really like
okay.
that specifically because uh, I don't really like the dress thing, and I'm not like, if I don't really like doing bikini, so it was kind of like out of my comfort zone, but I did it and I did well. So
Yeah, I noticed like that sometimes you have like these outfits where you're like a butterfly or something like that. I think I could showcase it a little bit.
Yeah, so that's the angels category. So
Okay.
um, that originated out of Australia, and so you get to do like little wings. It's kind of glitz and glamour, and
Right.
you kind of get to walk across stage like a diva with all your, you know, jewelry and bling, and then you still have to do posing, and they still do comparisons. So I kind of fell into that style of wings, and um, it's kind of become my signature. Because funny story is that I was going to South Korea, and someone had given me these really incredible, fabulous wings to take, and they obviously could not go on the airplane. So I went with my friend, and we went to FedEx and we went to UPS, and the lowest price we could get to ship them to South Korea, with kind of like we had an address, but kind of we didn't, which was super sketch, was $900. And I was like,
Mm.
well, I've already, paid to be in this category and everything. Well, now what am I going to do? Because I'm not going to pay $900 to get them there. So I had to find wings that could put in a suitcase. And so those ones fold up and everything. And that was kind of like a makeshift idea, but then it became like the best idea ever. And now I have it in all different colors and so forth.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, yeah. I noticed that. Like a lot of times, I like it, when you post stuff, I see with the wings and stuff. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's very creative and stuff. So other pictures I got. You you
That's but the harbor. That's was modeling
yeah,
some swimsuits.
okay. How was that?
That's good. That's a brand called Eve 7 that she actually makes my competition bikinis, but she makes bikinis too because we live in Southern California. That's pretty
Okay.
popular.
Do they pay you a lot of money for the photo shoots or?
A lot of times it's just, either they'll give me the photos or they'll give me the outfits. It's good for marketing and it's good for, I just like doing it. So there's not always necessarily pay. Sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't.
You got any like any success stories, more success stories with like the senior citizens or anything like that, or because I got like videos of them doing workouts and stuff. So
Okay. Success stories?
yeah,
Sure. I
like
mean,
the
sure. I mean, people come to me with, like, for example, I have a client with Parkinson's disease.
okay,
So early on in their diagnosis, right, their muscles had atrophied a lot. And so I do work with people online too. So we do FaceTime. And so I'm
yeah,
able to help her again get up and down off the ground, get out of a chair, just rebuild a lot of, muscle that she had lost. And women are also vulnerable to osteoporosis and osteopenia. So strength training is really important. So I help her with
okay,
that. Let's see. With the aging population, I do help a lot of people who maybe have had a hip replacement or a knee replacement. So they definitely are able to do things that they can do for a long time, and we're also scared to do.
okay,
Um, Another population that I work with, a lot of pregnant women. So they'll come to me because they want to have a healthy pregnancy and be able to safely exercise. So that's something that I do. And then we, like I just had another client, she trained with me throughout her whole pregnancy. Then usually, depending on every individual is different, maybe 6 to 8 weeks later, you get cleared to exercise again, and then you come right back, and then we start again. And it just, I really connect with my clients in a way that it's a lifestyle change. So unlike with bodybuilding and so forth, I don't necessarily work with people for just 30 days and let's see what happens. It's usually my clients stick with me for a minimum 6 months, but usually for years.
yeah. So you were passionate about it.
Hmm.
Yeah. You got Curtis L. Jordan Jr., nice tattoos.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Anthony Watkins, she looks absolutely spectacular. Yeah, I
Thank
didn't.
you.
Yeah, I didn't mean to. I don't want to jump. I know I was kind of jumping, shifting a little bit, but it just came to my mind. I didn't want to forget it, because I
Sure.
had yeah, I had other
You and your
Let's
video.
check it out. Sorry, my bad. This is which one is this one?
Looking for a good lower body challenge with just body weight, try using a resistance band and the TRX. So what you're going to do is sit back into a squat, 90 degrees, toes pointed forward, squeeze your glutes on the way up, and push through your heels. Try to do 15 to 20 reps, 3 to 5 total sets.
I see like some of your exercises on TikTok and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, yeah. So like you deal with like people that would they have trouble like going down the stairs and stuff like that.
Yep, all of those things.
Yeah. Uh, how was like how's like the process of them like just doing the exercise?
You're so interested in this because of your dad, huh?
Yeah, I mean, not really. Like I know a lot of people have problems going down the stairs. I noticed that. Even sometimes, even with me a little bit. But the thing with me, I do like exercises. I do these qigong exercises called Falun Dafa, and it's like 5 sets of exercises, meditation, and it has like a spiritual component to it. So but outside that, I do see. I know people that have bad knees and stuff. Sometimes my guy, all the way George Page, he'll talk about I
Mhm.
got bad knees like Cone Stone Steve Austin and stuff. So yeah,
Yeah.
you're around that, and I see,
Well,
like you said, my father and stuff like that. So yeah,
well, oftentimes you have to focus on the areas like surrounding the place of injury. So let's say if it was a knee injury, we want to get your quads and your hamstrings and your calves and your glutes stronger so that and also you might need to lose weight too to take more pressure off of the knees. To be, movement is medicine. So exercise is medicine. So
right,
as soon as you stop, right, it's like the blood stops flowing like it used to, oxygen's not going everywhere. You have to keep moving because it's just that simple saying, if you don't move it, you lose it. So people who are very sedentary, right, it's like they almost conform or shape to the chair that they sit in all day, and your health starts to deteriorate. And a lot of it comes, I have to say that when you meet someone, or when I meet someone that can't go up the stairs or has a hard time sitting down and standing up, a lot of it is up here. Their confidence in themselves to be able to do that has really diminished because they had a fall, they had an accident, and they're scared of it happening again. And
right,
so as you work with someone, it's not like the first day I'm like, okay, let's get on the ground and let's get back up. Most of them will say, no, I'm not doing that. No way.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
unless you got like a gurney, I'm not doing that. And I know that. So my approach is that over time, you build trust in me, then you're going to gain confidence. And now in that process, we've strengthened the surrounding muscles, right? And we've also worked on your endurance. So your physical fitness has now improved. And then when I come back to the question, hey, will you get down on the ground for me? Let's try to get up. Then it's like, okay, I'll try it. And they always start with, I'll try it. And then they can do it. And they're doing things that they thought that they couldn't do anymore. And so they're happy, they feel better. Physically, right, they've improved, but mentally, they've improved as well. And so, like I say, this is like a lifestyle, right? It's not just, I can't do that with someone that I see just a couple times. Like, we have to work on it over time. And, it takes a lot of patience with myself and with them to be able to trust the process as well. So in doing that, we're moving and, using weights and doing some cardiovascular activities, you kind of naturally also lose a little bit of weight in that process too. So that always helps. And I always try to say, a healthy diet, staying hydrated is all really important. And usually with older clientele, you also want to be aware of any medications that they're on, because something like, getting dizzy, I need to be aware of that, because if I'm going to have you maybe work on some balance drills where maybe it's just walking backwards, well, if you easily get dizzy, right, I might be a little bit hesitant in my plan to do that until I know that you're capable of doing it.
Okay. What? I mean, have you met like somebody that's really stubborn? Like, it's and it could be like frustrating to a point. I don't know, like you're real passionate about what you're doing.
Sure, but of course I have. And I think that, again, you build like a rapport and a relationship with someone. And, sometimes just hitting them with a sense of humor and being sarcastic, like sometimes, well, then why are you here? Why did you hire me if you know how to do everything? If you could do it by yourself, why am I here? And then they kind of giggle and they go, okay, I got to check myself, because they know that they're being resistant to it. And some people people come in all different shapes and sizes. They come also with all types of personalities. And usually people who live by themselves and maybe even have a remote job, that can be difficult too, to build trust, because they're really set in their ways and they don't really, they want to change, but they think that they're just not willing to try something, or they've been taught something in the past, like, you're only supposed to do something, one set of 5 or something like that. And I'm like, where did you get that from? Oh, 20 years ago, this is how I used to do it. Well, what you were doing wasn't working. So that's why we're here. And sometimes you have to kind of reset them to, wait, well, why are we here? But again, it's like, it's their session, right? It's their hour of my attention. And sometimes I could have a whole plan of what we're going to do, and they're like, no, I don't want to do that. Or no, I don't feel like doing that today. And then I just have to, pivot, figure it out, and do something different. So even if I'm frustrated, losing my patience a little bit, I know I can put some eye rolls in there, but I have to also like keep it to myself and just, it's my job and I don't want to lose a client. So I'm going to adjust to what I need to do to keep them coming and to let them know that, it's okay. We can do something else.
Well, kudos to you. I mean, doing that because that's not easy. Like, what would be your plan for like 2024?
So in 2024, as of now, there are 3 competitions that I want to do. A lot of the competitions haven't been like set in stone on a schedule, because they're still waiting to hear back from the venues, like to confirm and book and all of that. So in my mind, that's where I'm at. There's 3 that I want to do in May, July, and September. So I will prep for those and, do my best there. And I've got the other pug book coming out, the one about saying no to drugs. And then just really with the treatment center, that's a big learning curve for me, how it operates. A lot of things are new to me, like understanding how insurance works and being in a network with something. Of course, I've done a lot of studying and a lot of research, but now this is like real life. And I see people who, you know, their story is incredible, and you're like, how are you even still here today? And so I'm also learning how to not get personally wrapped up in a patient's experiences, that, you know, because sometimes, and other people could, you know, attest to, when you're like a psychiatrist or a therapist, when you keep hearing things that are really like, you know, drastic and trauma related, it can get to you a little bit. And so I kind of have to keep myself separate from that and just focus on the, you know, helping them in what I do. So, you know, as becoming the owner, I'm not necessarily there in like the day-to-day, like meeting with a psychiatrist, being in a group, etc. But I also do want to say hi to each one of them, you know, let them know that I'm proud of them, and, you know, want them to get them through the program successfully and to sustain being sober and clean. So that's all a lot of learning, and that's going to take up the bulk of 2024. I want to, you know, just grow both of my businesses and continue to help as many people as I can to become their best. And I want to also work on my relationship with God too, and get stronger with that, and focus in on just having more quiet time and alone time to do that. Because a lot of my life is go, 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 go. I want to be able to take, you know, even 5 minutes and just check in with the man upstairs more.
Right. Yeah, you need like a spiritual guidance. Yeah. So, well, you know, let me kind of leave you alone. You know, yeah, you know, I don't want to take too much of your time, but I
Sure.
appreciate you. You know, maybe we'll talk maybe next year. See how.
Right. There's the
What
New
about
Year's
like?
news.
Yeah, what I forgot. Like, what about your diet? And is it the same thing, or you know,
My
it's
dieting.
not different? Yeah,
The thing is that it's important for people to understand that a diet doesn't necessarily mean like a diet, like you can only eat this or you can only have that. It can also just mean the way that you eat. And
yeah,
so the way that I eat is just very clean, no processed foods. You know, people might ask me like, how many calories do you have, or how many macros do you have? And I have a coach and I follow his plan, and I do really well with that. I like structure and I thrive on that. And, you know, of course, there's days that I'm hungry. Of course, there's days that, you know, I wish I had a cheat day. It's hard. Food is hard for everyone, right? Like you can get to the
yeah,
gym, but food is hard. And
yeah,
especially during the holiday season, you know, you can get a little carried away with all the goodies, and then you kind of go, okay, I got to get back to where I was or make improvements. But I just don't. I I eat really, really healthy, and I think, you know, I like eating healthy because of the results and the benefits that I get from it. Not just physically, but like with my skin, with my energy, with my sleep, with my digestion. So for me, sometimes when people say like, "Oh, what'd you have for your cheat meal?" and then they go, "Oh, that's it." Sometimes for me, it's like, I know it tastes good going in, but coming out, it's not the same. So,
yeah.
you know, it's like it's a give and take. I'm like, it's not worth it really. Um, but so in terms of my diet, I would say more like I focus just on the nutrition part of it, and just really not eating anything that comes out of a package.
No. Well, yeah. Thank you for sharing that. You know, because sometimes you know food it's it, I still struggle with food a little bit. So you know, because I eat a lot at times. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah. Sometimes it depends what I eat. Sometimes I try to eat healthy. Sometimes I'll eat whatever. So, but you know, it's a lot. Food is a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But
It is.
but thank you for giving me your time. You know, really
Of
appreciate
course.
you.
Thank you, and have a
Yeah,
happy new year.
you too.
All
All right.
right.
All right, folks. See y'all later. Thanks again for coming in for the chat. All right.